Hey guys, it's Christine, also known as IvyWinter. Thank you for joining me for another Disney video. Today we're talking Disney Plus because it's still very relevant in our lives. And I want to talk about 5 movies that I think are woefully underrated that are on Disney Plus that you should watch. Because if you've got Disney Plus and you're paying for the streaming already, why not dive in, get into these movies that you may have missed out on. And if you haven't and you're a fan, great. I want to know all about it in the comments below, please, because I think a lot of these movies need a little more support. Number 1, Big Hero 6. Such a good movie, but I feel like nobody really talks about it anymore. Sure, you can meet Baymax and Epcot. That's about it. There's not a lot of representation of this movie in the parks. You don't see a lot of merchandise. I think there's like a set of those like PVC plastic figurines, and that's pretty much it. And this movie is so good. It actually won the Academy Award for Best Animated Feature Film that year, and then people forgot about it. I feel like it's just not one of those movies that people talk about much anymore, and the fans are the true big fans, and I know there are a lot of you out there, but I just feel like it's forgotten about. It's not brought up a lot. I saw it in theaters and I thought it was just wonderful. Definitely hits in some really heartfelt moments. I thought the fictional city of San Francisco was so cool. I love the idea of San Francisco and Tokyo combined as this like entity. It worked so well. Beautiful animation. Like I said, great moments, great characters. I mean, how can you not love I mean, it's such a good movie, so if you haven't seen it, please sit down and watch it. And if you have seen it, maybe you haven't seen it since it was in theaters, take time to revisit it. It's really good. And I think that if people give some thought and some time to it, it might end up being one of their favorite Disney movies. Want to talk about superheroes before the superhero craze? The Rocketeer. He's a superhero, right? The Rocketeer is such a great movie, but it didn't do well when it came out, even in theaters. It kind of bombed and does have kind of a cult following now, but I think there's a lot of people who haven't seen it. In fact, I said to my husband Peter the other day, I was talking about it and I was like, oh, have you ever seen The Rocketeer? And he was like, what? And I was like, The Rocketeer, you know, the Disney movie, the guy with the jetpack? And he was like, I've never even heard of it. Like, that was crazy to me, but it made me realize there are a lot of people who have never even heard of this movie. Billy Campbell stars in this movie. He finds a jetpack in 1938. That's really all you need to know. A jetpack is found in 1938 and awesomeness ensues. It is a great film with an amazing score. A lot of people don't realize that one of the songs that they did during the Fountain of Nations, you know, when they do like the shows, one of the songs they did that to was the Rocketeer theme. And it's such a good theme. It's like really up there, I feel like, with some of the biggest cinema film themes. And I think some people know it and don't actually know the movie. Like, that's how good it is. So I would definitely say it's like an hour and 45 minutes. You guys just sit down and watch this movie. I'm probably actually gonna watch it today because I'm just thinking about it and I really want to watch it. Number 3 is a Goofy movie. Now, if you grew up and were a 90s kid, you know this movie. You hear me say that and you go, what? That's not underrated. That movie's amazing. That's because you, sir or ma'am, have great taste. But a lot of people have never heard of a Goofy movie, especially if you didn't grow up and you weren't a child of that time. And if you didn't have someone introduce it to you later on at any point, you probably don't know what it is. It was based on the TV show Goof Troop and came out in the 90s, I believe it was mid-90s, like 95-ish, 6. Goofy gets his own movie. He has his son Max. They go on this fishing trip. There's some great music, some great characters. I mean, it's just a really good movie, and I think again, you know, unless you grew up around this, it's just not well known to wider audiences, and again, not a movie that is talked about a lot, or you see a lot of merchandise for, or any of that, so watch that movie, please. It's so good. Okay, my last 2 are gonna be 2, you know, animated movies that people know, but when it comes to the general consensus, don't get a lot of love. People don't watch them often. They prefer to watch Beauty and the Beast or Aladdin or, I don't know, The Lion King, and they kind of skip these 2. So number 4 is going to be Hercules. Now, Hercules did not do well in the box office for Disney. In fact, if you read Bob Iger's memoir, he talks about this a lot, that it was one of the movies that just didn't do well. It was like during the decline of animation, it just didn't resonate with audiences. And I say, well, why the heck not? Because Hercules, 1, best music. Oh my gosh, how can you listen to that soundtrack and not want to sing or dance your heart out? It is fantastic. 2, funniest jokes that I definitely didn't get as a kid. I mean, they have an Oedipus joke in there, guys. Like, I did not get that as a child. As an adult, I was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. 3 great characters, like Phil, come on, great comedy. Hades, fantastic villain. All around, a great comeuppance for Hercules and literally following him from zero to hero. I think it's fantastic. I think it is such a fun, funny, beautifully scored, great movie with a great moral. And you also have the song Go the Distance, which so funnily enough is like, Hercules isn't really talked about much. You can't really meet the characters unless it's like for special occasions or whatever. But yet we've had Go the Distance in like multiple fireworks shows, and like, it's a song that resonates with people. And I think there are people who know that song who haven't even seen the movie, you know? So give the movie a chance if you haven't, and if you haven't seen it in a while, sit down and watch it. And my number 5 should come as no surprise to anyone, because I preface this with one of the movies that, you know, didn't do as well and isn't really talked about, and we all know what my favorite movie is. Hunchback of Notre Dame. Guys, watch it. I'm sorry, you have no more excuses anymore. It's on Disney Plus. If you have Disney Plus, watch it. Do it for me. If you do it for no one else, just say, you know what, Christina's been talking about Hunchback of Notre Dame for like 4 years on her channel, and I haven't watched it, and I never gave it a chance, and you know what, Christine, I'm gonna do it for you. That's what I want to hear, you guys. Maybe we'll have a Hunchback watch along. Oh my gosh, I love this idea. Can we live stream a watch along? I really want to do this. My brain is going to places now, but guys, that movie. Gorgeous, beautiful music, if a bit more operatic and I don't know, I guess over the top the most Disney films. Esmeralda is such a butt-kicking female character. I love her. She is my favorite female character, hands down. People say, who's your favorite Disney princess? I say Esmeralda. I know she's not a princess. She should be, because she's fantastic. Great story. Yes, it's dark, but it's so interesting. And from an adult's perspective, I feel like it is some of the most engaging work that Disney has done, because it does touch on these themes of lust and religion and what is right, and does your religion make you morally just? There's a lot going on there. And I think, sure, as a kid, maybe it all went over our heads, even though as a kid I still love that movie. I saw it in theaters and was just in awe of it. But I think as an adult, it is much easier to appreciate, because you really understand the themes behind it, and oh god, it's so good. It's so good. Look, let's excuse the gargoyles. As characters, they're fine. Their song, not so great. But other than that, I think it is such a good movie, and you guys know it's my favorite Disney film. So I think it's woefully underrated. It's there. We should all be watching it. I'm really now thinking, how do we put together a watch along? You know, everybody starts on Disney Plus. Maybe we do it on Twitter or something. Anyway, those are my 5 most underrated Disney movies on Disney Plus. There's plenty more. I mean, there's a lot, you know, old movies that people have forgotten about and this and that, but those are the ones for me that I think people should really take the time to sit down and watch, especially when you've finished all the Marvel movies and the Star Wars movies and you're like, well, what's next? Try something a little different. Try something you haven't seen or haven't seen in a while. Are there movies on Disney Plus that you think are super underrated that people should be given a chance? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to know if maybe I haven't even seen them and I should be giving them a chance. If you like this video, then like it. If you like me, you should subscribe. I make videos every single week. Thank you so much for watching. I super appreciate it. I will be down in Disney World probably when this is out, or maybe leaving just after. So I will be doing vlogs soon of that. Very excited to spend time with Rob, to spend time with Michael K. I'm doing a video with Pammy plus Parks. It's gonna be a good time. So there's gonna be a lot of content coming out of that trip. So you'll wanna subscribe so you don't miss it. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, have a great rest of the day. Bye.